and welcome to another edition of the Sportsman Show. I am your host, Joe Musil, coming from Zoom for Nutmeg TV, along with my always here alongside, probably giving me some elbows already and stuff like that. Here's my co-host. Go ahead.
Yeah, we've already dropped a couple elbows in the past, but the last couple of weeks we've been pretty good, so we haven't really complained too much.
Yeah, I know. We've been going, three shows straight.
Straight
with no glitches. Yes. No glitches. That's good.
No glitches whatsoever. So, Joe, you would like to say something before we begin?
All right. This Sunday we will be at Muzzy Field doing a special live showing of our show at the 3rd annual All-Star Vintage Baseball, and we're going to be there. It's going to be a special show. It's our 16th, and that's going to be our 17th show. We're going to have a lot of interviews. We're going to watch the presentation of the Achievement of Baseball award given out, and we're going to take a whole bunch of pictures. So that should be a lot of fun and interesting.
I think so too. Yep. We will be there from about 9. It'll probably start about 9:30, and we're going to be there till about 11 o'clock because we have our obligations that we have to do once we go home, because he's my partner has his football stuff to watch, and I have my fantasy football that I need to do, and then I'm off to my cousins to watch the games to see how they progress. So.
Yeah. And that should leave us a good enough time, but it should be a good time. And I don't know how many people are going to be out there or able to witness the vintage baseball.
Yeah, bring a sweater with you, though. It's going to be a little.
It's going to be a little chilly. It's going to be chilly, but it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice, though.
Yeah, at least there won't be any rain. At least it's not going to be too humid or anything like that. It won't feel like an Indian summer.
Yep. So it should be okay.
Yep.
Let's dive back into what? You want to go into football?
Yeah, I'm going to go into football right now.
Let's go into football.
Week 1.
Week 1.
I thought everybody. I thought that some of the games that went down, I got a chance to see quite a few of them. I thought the upset. I thought there was a couple. But I think the one that was most intriguing was the Jacksonville Jaguars beating the Indianapolis Colts.
You can go first.
I will. Garrett Minshew, the quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars, only missed one pass the entire game, which is very, very rare. And I thought the Colts didn't really show up for that game because Phillip Rivers is the quarterback, and He had a bad game, but he didn't have help either. But I thought that was a game where the Colts should have beaten the Jaguars because there was no business Jacksonville was winning that opener.
Let's see. It was in Jacksonville,
and they allowed fans at that game too.
Yep. So, I didn't say that was the biggest upset. I said that it was a slight upset. The Colts are on a down spill to their franchise right now. They're still getting over the Andrew Luck retirement. They're still getting over that. I mean, that's going to take a couple years to try to find a quarterback. Phillip Rivers is only like a Band-Aid for like a couple of years until he retires. I mean, that's all he is a Band-Aid. So I mean, I wish him luck, but he was going down in San Diego when he was in San Diego. He wasn't doing so well.
Right. Then he played for the Los Angeles Chargers for a couple of years too.
Yeah. So he was going down. So that wasn't totally surprising.
What do you think was your game? Was
what I was going to go with was Washington beating the Eagles.
That was my second upset. I thought the Jacksonville one to me was more of an upset because Jacksonville doesn't really look like they have a whole lot going on. And then the Eagles had a 14-0 lead in that game, and then all of a sudden the whole defense for Philadelphia collapsed.
Yep, it collapsed. It went down. I know Washington was at home, but
Yep, but still, that was a game Philadelphia should have won.
Yeah, it is. But and another upset is the Dallas game. Dallas.
I didn't think it was an upset, though. I wasn't surprised by
it. Well, I guaranteed Jerry Jones was surprised.
Probably
not too happy.
But Jalen Ramsey sold the call in that game, though, too. The referees didn't have a good game that night.
No, they didn't. But so those are probably our three upsets, unless you have another one.
I thought another game. I thought San Francisco losing at home to Arizona, 27-23.
Well, you picked Arizona to win the division. That down there, so.
Yeah, well, that division's always up for grabs every year. Somebody different wins it.
I picked San Francisco to take a step back from the championship. They did lose a couple pieces and stuff, so.
Yeah, well, they lost Richard Sherman for a couple weeks.
Yeah, so I picked them to take a step back a little, maybe finish second or something in that division.
Yep.
But that's a pretty good one.
There was another game that I thought actually Detroit Lions should have beaten the Chicago Bears, and I don't know how Detroit was able to blow it like that. They were up 20 points.
Yeah, they've been blowing a lot of games throughout Matt Patricia's reign as head coach. So I don't.
Yeah, already he may not make it.
He may not make it. Yeah, he may not make it. He may not make it at all.
I'll probably say if he doesn't turn this around, I would say around by Thanksgiving. Before Thanksgiving, he's gone.
Yeah, he's given a turkey leg and sent home.
Yeah, pretty much. I also thought the Patriots game against Miami. I thought Miami's defense wasn't that great at all. New England's offense is kind of a new way of their offense now, since now Cam Newton runs with the ball.
I thought of it almost like a wildcat formation. Run past option, and giving Cam doesn't have total synchro with the wide receivers yet for New England. I mean, Julian Edelman dropped a catch in the first quarter there for a first down. It hit him right in the numbers, and he dropped it. So that I still say the Patriots played well. Their defense held up better than I thought, with missing so many players from COVID-19 people not being there. So, yeah.
I do want to say, though, coming up for their next game, they're going to Seattle on Sunday, and Bill Belichick actually likes Russell Wilson.
Well, he would love to have Russell Wilson.
I know he would. Yeah. But you have to realize something in Seattle. Seattle is a team where Russell Wilson can throw the ball 40 times per game. From what I heard, DK Metcalf's going to be covered by Gilmore.
Yeah.
I don't know, because everybody thinks it's so hyped that Seattle's going to beat New England in a heartbeat. I said, not so fast, but I will say this much. Cam Newton needs to keep his mouth shut because there was no need for what he had to do after he made that first down against Miami. I was livid.
What? He Gronk spiked it?
No.
What was wrong with the Gronk spike?
The way that Miami was talking, Cam was going crazy. He was going off, and I'm like, oh, boy, get him off the field quick. Just get ready, get the game over, shake hands.
Brady used to yell at players all the time. Brady talked a lot more than you thought he talked. He talked a lot.
Oh, don't worry. I'm getting to him in a minute. But, boy, Cam Newton, yes, it's a change process. But please, Cam, just be careful what you do. Don't go with your in-your-face or anything like that to the Miami Dolphins, please. Because you're the only quarterback we have, and Seattle is much tougher than Miami.
Yeah, so I give them a good fighting chance in that game. I don't see that as a W for the Patriots.
I would like to see the game be competitive.
Yes, I would. I think it will be, since there are no fans, are there fans?
No, not in
No
Seattle.
fans.
The teams that I read that are allowing fans, it was Jacksonville, Miami, Dallas,
All the hot spots.
yeah, Indianapolis, and Cleveland. But what my father told me from the Cleveland-Cincinnati game, which we'll talk about that game shortly, apparently there were 6,000 fans, and there was still a fight and there was still a fight going on.
Oh, jeez. Wear a mask.
That's what I said. I said, Dilly, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
So, and then of course they had the fans in Miami last week, which was found out today that, or last night, that one of the fans that were at the game was tested positive.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, that's great. Guy at the stadium. So, I'm gonna go on Tom Brady for his first game that I watched him play. I thought maybe the first series he looked good. After that, what wasn't the greatest. He had a couple series, but he looked like he hasn't changed much one bit.
That is true. Tom's mechanics and stuff hasn't changed since New England. Mm-hmm. He's still the same player that he is and was. He still can't make that sling to the outside without being the ball picked off and running in for a touchdown. I mean, he threw that. That was the last play he did in New England. That play.
Yeah, well, he did the exact carbon copy against New Orleans.
Yeah. I mean,
and then Gronk was a non-factor too. He only had 2 catches the whole game.
Yep. So, I mean, I know New Orleans is probably the 3rd best team or the 2nd best team in the NFC, and stuff, but that wasn't a good showing by Tom.
It wasn't. Now, Drew Brees, he's getting older too. He didn't look any better.
No, they relied on
helped him though.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a very good player. He's a dynamic player. You want the ball in his hands at all times. You want the ball in that's utilizing that player to his full potential.
Absolutely. But one thing to add too with New Orleans, Michael Thomas had suffered a high ankle sprain, and there was a chance he was supposed to miss game to game. Well, apparently he may be playing this week.
Okay.
So that was a little bit crazy. Chris Godwin at Tampa Bay, he had suffered a concussion. He was feeling okay the last couple days, then he went to concussion protocol. He's listed as doubtful for Sunday, so he has till tomorrow to see what he looks like in practice before they make the decision whether he's going to play against Carolina or not.
Okay.
So another game that I thought that was well out of reach. Well, Cleveland from their Week 1 game against Baltimore didn't really look good.
Well, no one's really going to look good against Baltimore. Baltimore's probably ranked number 1 in the AFC or number 2 in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
So they've really shored up that defense. Their passing attack. Jackson looked well as quarterback. He threw some nice touchdowns, passes, and stuff. So he looked pretty good. Too. Yep. So, I mean, probably Cleveland won't suffer a loss like that throughout the whole season. That's probably the best team they're going to face.
Yep. So, and then Cincinnati, their rookie Joe Burrow, their first game that they played against the Los Angeles Chargers, he had a running touchdown. And actually, the Bengals should have won their Week 1 game against the Chargers. Instead, the kicker missed a chip shot.
Yeah, that kicker's no more probably.
Yeah, no, he's already gone. I
gone.
already saw he was gone. I watched the Giants-Steelers game.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the Giants.
Sure. I thought offensively they should have had a touchdown after they had that special teams. You do not attempt to you have to get out and make it with a field goal at the 3-yard line. That's no excuse. And Pittsburgh really didn't get their acting gear until about the second quarter.
Yeah, I say these were at least probably two mediocre teams beating up on each other.
Right, but this was the advantage for Pittsburgh, though. I thought their defense, Saquon Barkley couldn't do anything.
He got, 5 carries for 6 yards? I think he got that. And Ben Roethlisberger.
No, he was in the negative territory for a while.
For a while, and then he got 6 yards total game. Ben Roethlisberger outran him and Ben Roethlisberger ran for 9 yards. And I don't know what the Giants are doing. I know Daniel Jones isn't bad. He's still making some.
No, and they have a new offensive coordinator
and a new coach, so that's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, and a new offensive coordinator too. So he was pretty good. But coming up this Sunday, they have a game in Chicago, and the Bears are banged up defensively, but they're coming off a big win. So I'm hoping this game's going to be competitive, and Saquon Barkley.
I hope Saquon Barkley actually has some plays drawn up for him. If you're not going to utilize a player that you drafted, 6th overall or something like that, and utilize him for the offense.
Your fantasy football too. Don't forget, he was number 1 or he was 2nd this year, and so far that's not the way to go. They'll drop him out of the top 10 pretty quickly. A game like that.
Well, my thoughts on fantasy football.
Yeah, I know, but you can't let that drop.
Well, you don't own the player or anything, so technically, you playing fantasy football, you take a gamble on that. So.
No, well, don't worry, I don't have him, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, but.
And then the other Monday night game, Tennessee against Denver. That was a competitive game, back and forth. It went for a while. And then at the end, I heard Stephen Gostkowski had a horrendous night.
Yeah, he went 3 for 4, and then he kicked the winning field goal.
Yeah, go figure, because I heard he missed an extra point. He missed a couple field goals.
Yep.
And, Derrick Henry had a good game, had 115 yards for the night, I think.
Well, I think that's how Tennessee's going to have to win football games. Them running the ball, and hopefully Gostkowski can make field goals.
Yeah, well, I heard their wide receiver A.J. Brown was listed as out for this game Sunday against Jacksonville. That was already announced before we went on the air.
Yeah, so
and then the one other game local, the New York Jets. Well, Le'Veon Bell already suffered an injury, and he let him play, and that was
I think his career
is already starting.
I think his career is done. If he can't
Adam
make it with the Jets,
have much longer either.
No, he doesn't either. But the Buffalo Bills looked good, decent. Their quarterback
Josh Allen had a nice running touchdown. I saw that.
Very, very well, very good.
But you didn't hear Stephon Diggs' name too much, though.
No, but they'll get him into the offense. They'll get him into it.
I know. They'll get him into it. Look who they have this week too. They're at Miami.
Yeah, so that's a good place to try him out at. That's a good place.
Well, especially it's the turf is grass. You got some fans there, so
yeah, it's a long season. It's hopefully a long season, but
now for week 2, we have last night's game. Go ahead.
One other game that I want to talk about is the Aaron Rodgers game. Was that a real shocker to you, seeing them host 43 points on the board?
No.
It's not a shocker to me because, Aaron Rodgers had a whole season to be healthy. He did that. I think he did this last year in week 1 or in week 2. He came out with piss and vinegar and stuff. He actually played like a middle of the like a 25-year-old again. But I don't take too much stock into Green Bay doing that too much.
Not yet. No.
I would have to see them do that for maybe 4 games if they do that. Or if
they might be 2-0 after this week. They're playing Detroit at Lambeau this week.
Yeah, so if they throw up another good score, but on a team, then yeah. But Minnesota actually put up 34 points on them. So your defense gave up a lot of points.
Yeah, but
Still,
Minnesota's changed a lot now. No more Stephon Diggs, and now they have to rely on Dalvin Cook and Adam Thielen's your number one receiver, and you figured you'd hear a lot of Kyle Rudolph's name, but you really didn't.
No, but so.
Oh yeah, one more team I forgot before we talk about week 2. The Arizona Cardinals. What a debut for DeAndre Hopkins.
Yep.
He finished with 154 yards. I think he had like 13 catches, but he looked like, he was so happy to be on a new team.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Kyle Murray had a good game. He had 230 yards for 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That's pretty good.
Yup. And a rushing touchdown he had. Kenyon Drake had a good game I saw.
Yep. And they just went into San Francisco and beat up on San Francisco. So,
it wasn't a blowout. It was 27-23.
Yeah, Garoppolo actually had a good game, 19 of 33 with 259.
They need wide receivers.
Yeah.
Their receiving core is very thin right now.
They're actually wide receivers only caught 1 touchdown in that whole game, so.
Not surprised. Oh, and George Kittle is out. So they announced that before we were on the air.
Yep.
So we'll see what San Francisco does. But without Kittle, that could be – I saw the way he went down with that knee injury last week.
Yeah. So that – it's been a pretty good –
Yeah, it almost covers week 1. But now we got to dive into week 2 now with Thursday Night Football last night, the Battle of Ohio. It was the Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt show. It wasn't really Odell Beckham night.
Well, he did have 1 catch, I heard. I didn't see the game, but I heard he had 1 catch.
Beckham had that touchdown that should have never happened. His knee was down at the 1-yard line.
Well, it went in. It was a touchdown.
Yeah, they called it a touchdown, and they looked at it, and he got in. But Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt had a really good game. A lot of people are saying, did Baker Mayfield turn the corner with this victory last night? I'm going to say you got a long way to go, Baker.
Yeah, I would say a long way to go. But give Cleveland some props. They beat a good team.
They did have 2 sacks last night. So.
Yep. Baker Mayfield went for 16 for 23 and 219 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. That's not a bad evening.
No, it's not a bad night, and at least Cleveland has some time to rest before their 3rd game next week of the season, which I don't know where they are next week, but I'll have to look at it.
Yep.
Let me see if I can get it on here real quick. I know I can get it on my TV here, since my TV loves to get this stuff.
3rd week for the Browns, Washington.
Is it at Washington?
No, it's in Cleveland, but it's on Fox.
No, that's another. Well, that could be another. That could be another game for Cleveland to win, maybe pending
on if Washington's for real or not.
Yeah, if they beat Arizona and go to 2-0, then proves you can win a couple more games. Then we'll put you in that category of okay.
Yeah, because Washington's got Cleveland in week 2. Week 2.
Okay, week 3.
Week 3, Cleveland Browns. And week 2, they got the Cardinals.
Yep, that's at Arizona. That's a 4:00 game.
Yep. 4:05.
So, and then the Las. Oh yeah, we forgot to mention this. The Las Vegas Raiders. Congratulations, your first win is that franchise.
Yep.
As you beat the Carolina Panthers in an escape.
Come back too.
Monday. Yep. And then they turn around and they had their first home game ever at Bank of America Stadium. But unfortunately, you're not going to have fans.
That place is huge. I saw them.
So Sophie Stadium in Los Angeles.
Yeah, those places are huge. I heard it's like 1.8 billion or something like that to build that.
And you can see this, and you can see the daylight from the windows at Sophie Stadium too. I heard.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
Yeah, it looks
they'll play
nice.
some Super Bowls in that place.
They said at Sophie Stadium they are supposed to play in the Super Bowl of 2022, hopefully with fans, of course.
Yeah, hopefully. Yep. So,
you know,
yeah.
but we covered week one.
Yep.
You know,
if you want to go on to
like we said,
a little.
there were pretty good games, and a lot of people were happy that football came back, and
Yep.
you know, and not too many people took a knee during the anthem. I saw that.
Yeah, Miami didn't come out for the anthem, so.
Yeah, neither did Houston, but it wasn't as bad as what we had thought, though.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing that went wrong from what I saw was one of the games there were 2 ejections during week one. One got thrown out for pushing an official. The other one got thrown with a punch. Punched somebody, threw a haymaker.
Yeah.
At Denver, and then they immediately saw that, and he got the axe.
Yep.
So, but we'll keep an eye on the other football games that'll be happening with week 2 or any other of that with the injuries like the Michael Thomas or Davion Bell or Phil or Lindsey, the one who he got hurt too in that game.
Well,
so you know, or I'm sorry, George Kittle,
George Kittle.
Or the one for Cincinnati. I forgot to mention that he's out for the season. He tore his ACL last night.
No, he's done.
Yeah, that was announced.
So what are you looking forward to week 2?
I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to step up. Is Washington going to be the true team that can go to 2-0?
Yep.
If the Patriots go to Seattle and knock the Seahawks off 2-0, I'll take that as a great start. I'll be happy being 1-1 as well.
Yep, I would be too.
They're a team who I think that doesn't really need to start 0-2 is probably Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that would be good. Who they got this week?
Because if they go 0-2, I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to start pointing fingers at everybody.
They're going to start pointing. Carolina Panthers. That's not an easy game for the Bucs. They've always battled them.
Teddy Bridgewater looked pretty good, I saw at times.
Yep. So that's a tough game for them.
And then of course Dallas playing Atlanta. Do I really see what are the Cowboys going to panic if they start 0-2? I'm going to say they may push the panic button.
Yep, they may push the panic button there.
And then Dak Prescott, then they're going to start talking. Is he worth $30-something million on a franchise tag after he had first game he had no touchdowns? That's a player we have to watch.
Yes, throughout this season, he's gambling on himself throughout this whole season. So, if he doesn't play well, he's gonna be down to like $27 million or something.
Yeah, well,
or not even the Dallas coach or quarterback anymore.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way: if they brought in their backup, it's Andy Dalton.
Yeah, the redhead.
Nah, no, I don't think so.
I don't think they're doing that.
And of course, Mike McCarthy already made his first coaching mistake. He should have went for the field goal instead of going for it on 4th and 3.
Yeah, he should have, but he didn't, and he lost the game.
Didn't. But then, then we need to point this out too, Joe. If you noticed, there was about 11 coaches that did not have their masks on over their nose and mouth, and the NFL sent a league of warning to them.
Yeah, they did. So they
and remember we talked about the shield for Andy Reid.
Apparently, the duck-billed dinosaur.
No, we can't do that.
No duck-billed dinosaur.
No.
And no fog in front of him that he couldn't even see the game.
Right, but now the NFL came down and said, don't do that again or you're going to get fined or possibly disciplined or suspended.
Yep, so just wear a mask, guys.
Just wear a mask, coaches. You don't want to start this baloney because the NFL, and we've been watching too, there haven't been a positive case, so this is really good.
Yep, so hopefully things go well. Anything else for week 2 that you would look forward to?
I want to see if Miami actually can show up against Buffalo.
Yeah, if Miami starts 0-2, that's another tough game for Miami. And I don't see the Miami's defense improving that more quickly,
and of course
or
Ryan
anything.
Fitzpatrick's starting at quarterback again. So
yeah,
Coach Flores decided, we're not starting the other one yet. They're going right back to Fitzpatrick. I said, how much longer before Fitzpatrick rides the bench?
I say they give him another Well, Tula is in back of him, so he, that's the number one pick overall for the
Correct.
last year.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
I say week 4. If he doesn't have Ryan Fitzpatrick is like 1-3 or something like that, or
Mm-hmm.
if he's 0-4, yeah, he's definitely
Oh, I
riding
was
the
going to say
pines.
0-3, definitely make the switch.
But yeah, I say 0-4. If he goes 0-4, or even if he goes 2-2, I say he's still riding the bench.
Yep, I want to say get to 0-3, and then that's going to be the end of Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, so he can go back to the old age home and find his place there.
Absolutely. So, all right, now we've covered the football, which we said we would take half the show.
Yeah, and
So
we did.
that worked out. So
We did take half the show.
yeah, we'll take that. That was already planned.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we get to the hockey part because I want to say we are down to 2 teams now.
2 teams.
Yup, the Dallas Stars took care of business on it was not Saturday night. It was Monday night. No, actually, I take that back. No, it was Monday night. The Dallas Stars took care of Las Vegas in overtime to win their series 4-1. Problem was Zach Whitecloud put the puck into the stands. Well, you can't really call it the stands anymore because there wasn't any fans. Just
still call it the stands.
Gave Dallas a power play, and Dennis Gurianov scored the game-winning goal, and that basically, for the first time since 2000, the Dallas Stars are going to the finals, and they had to wait for their opponent, which we now know is the Tampa Bay Lightning. But the funny thing was, in the last 2 games, the Tampa Bay Lightning in the start of overtime had about a 4-minute power play because one of the Islanders took penalties for high sticking, double minor because there was some blood involved.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Lightning couldn't do it. Then the Islanders got a power play because one of the Lightning players were starting to put the puck out of play too. Can't do that. So they kill that off, and then it goes to a second overtime, and then little did we know, Jordan Emberley won the game for the Islanders in Game 5 and said, "Oh, good, this is going to be Game 6 now. We have another game. You have to wait. You have to hold off the schedule for the finals." So then last night, same thing. 4-minute power play, nothing happened. Islanders put the puck in the Lightning player puts the puck in the stands, same thing, penalty killed. A little later on, Anthony Cirelli, little pinball shot, just puts it right in. The puck spins into the net. Game over, good night. There's your Prince of Wales trophy. And that was it. So now the Game 1 will start tomorrow night, Saturday night, and the rest of the schedule is this thing could end as early as Wednesday night coming up, or it can end as late as September 30th.
Okay.
They're going to be playing every other night except for Games 4 and 5. That's going to be back-to-back.
Okay. And who do you say is going to win?
I'm going to say Tampa Bay because I think they have more speed than Dallas. Even though Steven Stamkos still has yet to play a game, he has been practicing with the team. I don't know if he's going to get into action or not. He has been in the bubble with the team. So the only downside that I have with this whole thing is I guess they are not letting family come see them play because they would have had a quarantine for a week. And at this point, this thing could be done in 5 days if it's not very careful. So basically, like Dallas has not seen their family since July, and Tampa Bay hasn't really seen their family and friends since July. It's been really a long time for them, and some of them are getting homesick, but they've been able to survive it and get ready for the richest, the biggest, the oldest cup in sports history. There will be a Stanley Cup winner. We just don't know how many games it's going to go. You may be in our next show. We may be talking about the Stanley Cup champions, or we're going to be talking about. Actually, wait. 1, 2.
Game 7.
Yeah, no. Go. Game 1 is Saturday game 2's. Yeah, actually Friday we could be talking about, if it gets for the game 4, we could be talking about a possible Stanley Cup champion clincher, but I don't see that happening. I can see Tampa Bay winning this in 6.
Okay.
So, but there's a lot of uncertainty what's going to happen in these series. So, but I wish both of these teams good luck. Both teams have won a Stanley Cup in their career. Dallas won theirs in 1999. Tampa Bay won theirs back in 2004.
Okay, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while for both, but actually with Dallas, when they were the Minnesota North Stars, they've been in the Stanley Cup Finals before. So in their franchise, this is going to be their 5th appearance in the Stanley Cup Finals. Now, not too many players from either side. Patrick Maroon has a Stanley Cup ring when he played for the St. Louis Blues last year, and most of these people on the Lightning, this is going to be their 2nd Stanley Cup Final for the most part. And then the Dallas Stars, Tyler Seguin has won a ring before. Corey Perry has won a ring before with prior clubs. Joe Pavelski, this is going to be their 2nd final. Everybody else, this is going to be their 1st final. And they're actually, just like last year when St. Louis was riding with an interim coach, Dallas has the same thing. Rick Bowness is going to be named the head coach full-time when this is all said and done, but they want to wait till this is officially over.
Okay.
So, but we'll see how this progresses and all that, but it all starts Saturday night, and at least the good news is the first game's at 7:30.
Okay, that's
so
good.
It will be on NBC. It will be on NBC National.
Okay.
So, but now that covers my hockey. So go ahead. It's basketball time.
Basketball time.
We have to talk about the Eastern Conference first because the other series is finally starting tonight.
Yep, the Eastern Conference. Celtics down 2-0 to the Miami Heat. First game, Boston up by 13 with heading into the 4th, and Boston really doesn't know how to close out the Miami Heat. Miami Heat looks like they just saved their best punches for the 4th quarter and just punch out Boston. They just looks like they have more of a game plan than actual Boston. It looks like the coach for Miami, he looks like he's out coaching Brad Stevens, which is hard to do because Brad Stevens is a very good coach. So if Boston really doesn't get back on track over the next couple of days, I say this may not even go. It may get swept. Right here.
Game 2, same thing. They were up big. Miami found a way to came back.
Yeah.
From what I
read
were
up today, by 17.
From what I read, the Celtics, after the game was over, they had a closed-door meeting.
Yep. Because
and this is the wrong time to have a meeting like this, but you didn't really have a choice. But you're down 2-0. This is the 3rd round. It felt like the door must have been slammed and must have been finger pointing and all that. I'm like, wow, this is about the best time you got to try and pull a stunt like this. But at this point, you don't have a choice. You got to do it.
Yeah, this is like Brad Stevens' 3rd or 4th Eastern Conference final.
I thought this was his 2nd. He's been in the second round so many times.
He's been to the Eastern Conference about 3-4 times now.
Okay.
It's getting up there, but he just doesn't get over that hump. I mean, he ran into LeBron James in Miami a couple times. That was hard to get over. And he ran into Giannis last year, which was hard to get over.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just not getting over that. He's not getting into the finals, He's just not progressing to that.
Yeah, well,
level.
how much longer before Danny Ainge is going to say something and say, you got to get to the finals or else?
Well, they did give him an extra 5 years, so they extended his contract for 5 years.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But it doesn't get any easier next year for Boston in the East because the Brooklyn Nets, they're going to have KD back. Kevin Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I know. Yep, Kevin Durant, who was out for the whole year. Yep.
Yeah, he was out, and they're going to have Irving, so that's going to be a better team. And let's see, the Raptors are going to probably get a little bit better if they
Well, they need to stay out of the media though, because they've been in the media business the last week.
Well, they're looking to probably try to get Giannis onto their team because I guess maybe Giannis is not too happy about being in Milwaukee, but he still has another year on his contract. So
yeah, I heard he deleted a lot of people off his Instagram list. So
yeah, so
that wasn't too good. But I want to talk about the Los Angeles Clippers and that meltdown that they had.
Yeah, I know. I predicted on the show it was over. That's the wrong prediction to me. I'll eat my sock on that one. I'll eat it.
I will because Game 7. I don't know what the heck happened, but Denver just annihilated.
Yeah, they did. They won that one to the wire on Game 7.
Because I thought maybe Doc Rivers they would pull the axe on him after that, but he hasn't been fired yet.
No,
maybe they won't.
He hasn't gotten out of the second round for the playoffs in 7 years.
Because when he went to the Celtics, remember he was in the finals twice and he won a ring.
Yep, he won a ring. Yeah,
and
he should have had 2 because LA should have won that series.
Yeah, I know.
That's another debate on that one because Kendrick Perkins went down in that series in Game 6, and Boston wasn't at full strength for Game 7. So that's my thought. We'll debate.
Yeah, I remember that one. But still, I thought Doc Rivers would get let go if they blew a 3-1 series lead on Denver. I really did.
Yeah, I think so. Or it may be coming still. It may not be, or will. But Kawhi Leonard didn't show any MVP performance in Game 7. I mean, Paul George wasn't even talked about in the whole series. Paul George disappeared. I forgot he was on the team. So that's a poor showing for the Clippers.
Absolutely. And then, of course, when Houston got beat by the Lakers, I heard Houston is going to get a new coach.
Yep. Mike D'Antoni will
be going. He didn't get fired. He just got released.
Yeah.
Which is a big difference. But then they're going to say you were still fired.
What the? Why are we dropping the ball? Come on, Glaber. You don't drop the ball.
Actually, we'll kind of take that as a Red Sox fan, but...
No, you don't take that.
Okay,
watch.
Little super.
Drops the ball.
Oh, yeah, that's the second time. There should have been an out on that one.
He drops the ball like he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
But back to
a little basketball before we talk about the Yankees surging.
Yeah.
Overall, basketball has been better. I mean, once the Milwaukee Bucks got eliminated and swept, now they can worry about their life back to normal life, and
yeah,
because like we said, they were not in it at all when this thing occurred, and when we had to take another pause for a couple of days, and
yeah, yep,
it just didn't work out. So, but we're gonna see what the Nuggets and Lakers do tonight, because like I said, the Lakers haven't played a game in about a week.
Yeah.
In Denver, it's been about a few days. So, well, like I said, imagine now if Miami sweeps Boston, and they're going to have to wait a week.
Yep. I don't see either Boston or Miami, if LA gets by, winning the championship anyways. This is LA's free chance to get a championship. I mean, if they can take care of Denver in like 5 games, I'll give Denver 1 game. But that Denver team's a young, up-and-coming rookie team. They
weren't supposed to be here.
Weren't supposed to be there. I mean, they're not set up to beat L.A. at all. I mean, the Clippers were set up with 4 small forwards able to guard LeBron just to beat L.A., but they're not there. Miami doesn't have anything to beat LeBron.
Yep.
And Boston really doesn't have anything to beat LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
So this is LA's shot to get a championship.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way, Joe. Imagine if the Clippers and Lakers had played each other and we weren't going through COVID-19 right now, what would Staples Center feel like?
Oh, that would be an uproar. We talked about this last show.
Yeah, I know, but now
it would be that would be a great Western Conference Finals. Maybe next year we'll get it, but
that's what I mean. But we were hoping it was going to be Clippers and Lakers because then that way, like we said,
that would set
would have been making
TV,
a lot of money.
Yep, TV ratings would go up for the basketball,
especially in the Los Angeles area.
Yeah,
their money real fast.
Everybody would be home around their TVs. So.
Yep, but now with the Clippers not being there, a lot of Clippers fans are like, "Yeah, okay, we don't care."
They're not going to watch anymore. No, they're not going to watch anymore.
No.
Denver's not a bad market. It's not a good market, but it's not a bad market. It's not LA. I know it's not LA, but it's not a bad market.
No, and remember, in the city of Denver right now, don't forget.
They only have a bad football team.
Normally, the Broncos used to be a great football team. Now they're in the learning stages. Then you got the hockey, the baseball team, the Rockies. You never know how they're going to do because remember, you're playing above sea level. So and they're the ones who got to keep baseballs in a like a vending machine. Well, not a vending machine, but keeping them a normal sized baseball so they don't think it'll climb or something like that. Or the hockey team in Denver where Colorado wins a couple cups, then they have trouble. Now the last couple of years they should have been in. This year they probably should have been in the final, but I'm like, well, get your act together, Avalanche. Get back to the final next year.
Yep. So
at that point,
Denver has a good fan support, so Denver should.
Yeah, I do too. Because the Denver Nuggets never used to have any fan base, and I think now the last few years it's starting to come.
It started to come. So I wish Denver all its luck, and hopefully, I would like to see Denver knock off LA, so LA doesn't get their 17th championship and tie Boston.
Right, and then we wait to see if LeBron James is going to have another powwow, and then we'll see what he does with the 2 years he has left on his contract after this year. So
we'll see what happens. But but that's pretty much.
Wow, look at the time tonight. Jeez, we really gone into it. Baseball. I'll start tonight because this is almost the end of the Red Sox season, but we did have a bright spot on this road trip. We did beat the Tampa Bay Rays and the Miami Marlins. Same problem. Pitching is still an issue, but our hitting is still up there. I'm not disappointed about how our hitting's going. We're hoping next year it'll be something to build on. I would like to see maybe a new first baseman for a rookie, if possible. And then hopefully Chris Sale being back next year, and Eduardo Rodriguez. I'm hoping maybe this will turn around a new leaf. Apparently we have a closer now, finally, but long way to go. Tonight, hopefully for pride, we go out and beat the New York Yankees because the Yankees, for Joe's team, they've turned. Even though you were upset with their play, now they've won 7 in a row since you had your
rant on them. They heard me. They heard me.
Yes, they did. Because you guys are still hitting home runs left and right.
Yep. We hit 3 nights in a row. We hit 6 home runs. That's outstanding. That's history. So Yankees have won 7, 8 in a row. So the Yankees got back on track. Giancarlo Stanton was actually in the lineup. He actually hit the ground baller to the shortstop. Actually ran to first base without injuring himself. That was amazing.
Aaron Judge is back. We're getting healthy. We're finally healthy. I mean, the trainers are actually making the players healthy. They're doing something. Something's in the water making them healthy. So and you actually have some pitching, and I think Chapman's back from his suspension, right? I know he got suspended.
Yep, he's back. So our pitching is back, and our pitching is better. But, if if this playoff, I don't know what the baseball playoff is going to look like or anything like that. But if
we
it's
can discuss that next week's show because it will be. They will start talking about. They'll post it.
They'll post it probably.
And I guess you can talk about the bubble that now has been a done deal.
Yeah, I heard there's going to be a bubble, so no home field advantage. So that it comes down to your pitching. If the Yankees pitching is good and Cole starts a game and we win that game, it's going to be our pitching. Pitching's going to win us the World Series or not.
Yep. And then they did announce the bubbles for the American League pennant, the National League pennant. I thought it was a little weird, but the National League's going to Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. The American League is going to San Diego, California.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Yeah, you'll need to read it, Joe. It's very weird. And then the World Series gets to be played out in Arlington, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, I said, okay, in basketball, they're only doing one bubble. Hockey only used 2. Baseball's going to do 4. But, yeah, you got to do California and Texas.
Oh. Yeah. I guess so.
You know, and then, of course, it's going to be played in a dome pretty much. But still, it's going to feel very weird. Remember, football's going to do the same thing, too.
Yep, football.
Maybe come playoff time. So – we have 5 minutes left, I think, on the show.
Football's not going to have home field advantage in any of their things. Yeah, that's going to be a little iffy.
Yeah, it's not a done deal yet with the NFL, but they may consider it.
Oh, okay.
It's not a done deal yet.
Yeah.
A couple quickie updates.
The Phoenix Sun, the Sun are doing well in their playoffs. They're actually coming together as a team. I know they started 0-5 in the season, but their team structure is very good right now, and they look great. They spanked the LA Sparks or something like that in their playoff round to advance. So they're doing pretty good. Maybe by next show they'll be in the finals almost, probably.
Hopefully. We have the Big Ten football conference. They decided to reverse course, and they're going to start October 24th.
They're going to try to get like 6 or 7 games in.
8 games.
8 games.
The Pac-12 right now, that's delayed, but, it's more than COVID right now. It's the wildfires.
Yeah, because they're on fire right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't really get that going, even though our wonderful person – our wonderful person wants the Pac-12, and he thinks he can get it going now. I got news for you. Wildfires are a whole different ballgame.
It goes wildfires important, COVID-19, then sports.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not going to convince a whole bunch of people that football needs to be played when their house is on fire.
Right. And not only that, they also threatened the ACC as well. They said, if there are less than 8 teams right now that are playing, they said they will postpone the season.
Yeah, I mean it's a bad situation. So
I know, but they said the ACC has to have 8 teams playing right now. I guess Houston versus Baylor, their game was postponed this weekend. So
yep, they're postponed. Yeah.
The way it went, I guess Fox has got to kill their schedule now. Now they're putting on Saturday night baseball now because there's no
football.
No college football. Yep.
Also,
the NASCAR's in the playoffs now. They're in their next race coming up. I think 2 more people get eliminated, I believe.
Yep.
So, and then of course, you got the U.S. Open now for golf. That's, welcome to September. That everybody's having a hard time at Winged Foot in New York. So,
okay.
From what I heard, and then tennis, the French Open is coming up in a couple weeks. Here we go. Now you're playing tennis in September, and the Preakness is in a couple weeks in October to finish off the Triple Crown season. Even though we're not going to have a Triple Crown winner.
Yeah, no Triple Crown, but
nope.
Should be a good race anyways.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun and everything else, and then but yeah, we're starting to wind down on. Well, yeah, hockey's going to finish first before baseball or basketball. So
Yep.
So
you're gonna go counting down your days until next season.
Well, we have to wait and see when the official
Whenever
schedule
season
is because
starts.
already they've already announced for the junior hockey tournament for after Christmas, if it goes on, of course. They announced that it's going to be all played in Edmonton, no fans. They're going to be in a bubble.
Bubble.
Yep, go figure. They're all going to be staying at 2-3 different hotels, and these are different countries too. This isn't like professional teams. We're talking U.S., Canada, Russia, Finland.
Yeah.
Czech Republic, all those, for example. But just too much as it goes. So.
All right. So we wrapped up.
Before we wrap it up, I'm going to mention this.
Seconds.
YouTube. Yep, this is for you, for all you YouTubers. And actually, of course, our one of our rerun shows just finished for the night.
Yeah.
Our YouTube has been going pretty good still. It's been going pretty steady. We just had our 2 episodes just updated. So please like our subscription and, make the views. And I haven't seen too many comments. I will read them if I see one, but it hasn't been too much.
Yep.
And
go to your YouTube channel. Our shows are right there.
Yep. 14 and 15. Tonight was 16. And then a special 17 is on Sunday. As a reminder, we will be on location for Sunday. So we will enjoy that one before we get home to do our football stuff and all that. And we want to wish you the very best. So, Joe, it's your shot.
All right. This has been the Sportsman Show. I've been your host, Joe Musil.
I am Jason Coach E.D. Careless. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. And we will see you for the special edition version, our first time away from Zoom.
Yep.
And we will hope to see you all on Sunday, and then we'll be back to Zoom 1 week from tonight. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night. See ya.
See you Sunday.
Sports.